Hello YouTube, this is Jimbo Who. That's my longtime AOL screen name. I am making this my first video on YouTube for really one reason, and that is that I wanted to get myself out there, identify myself, come forward as the person that made a call to a radio station here in New York, I think on Wednesday of this past week, to the Randi Rhodes program. She's the drive time host on 1600 AM here in New York of the Air America New York affiliate. I guess that's their flagship station. At any rate, Randi Rhodes engages, as you may or may not know, on a daily basis of lying and smearing half-truths and innuendo, and otherwise trashing everything that is not Democrat or liberal, in other words, Republicans. And in this instance, earlier this week, she lifted a few words that the president said in answering a question at his press conference, where he was speaking about sanctions on Iran. And in this instance, the question was, why don't European nations put sanctions on Iran? And the president, in answering, said, among other things, that money trumps peace sometimes. Well, as you might imagine, she's playing that clip, inferring and saying that the president himself believes that money is in effect more important than peace, when really his long answer involved him saying, regrettably, money trumps peace, because these nations would elect not to put sanctions on Iran for fearing retribution and economic damage on themselves. So what Randi Rhodes was doing was playing this clip in only those 3 or 4 words, taking it out of context to mean the exact opposite of what the president really meant. And again, she does this routinely, day in, day out, week in, week out. So there are some of us out there that are onto her. You may or may not have heard of her. She's fairly insignificant. Rush Limbaugh makes a mistake on the air, it becomes news. Randi Rhodes engages in this type of thing every day, and yet no one knows about it because, again, she's fairly insignificant, just a juvenile. At any rate, I called the program, and I got on the air, and I proceeded to take her to task, and I challenged her to read the entire question and answer on the air to her audience. She said she would, but she didn't. So I was correct when I called her to call her an abject liar and a smear merchant, because that's what she is. And it's important that somebody out there respond to her, and maybe her fans and the people that listen to her on a daily basis will come to realize exactly what she is. So this created some kind of a stir on the Randi Rhodes message board, and I was a member of this message board back some months ago. I got kicked off really in short order because they can't afford to have someone like me around. So there's been some talk about this phone call I made, and I wanted to again come out and identify myself as the person that made the call, so that they can connect me to my time when I was on the board under the screen name Jimbo Who. Some of these, again, members of the board have been talking about this since, and again, that's the purpose for this video. If there's any interest and people comment, perhaps make a video in response to this, I might get back and do another one and elaborate. But for now, that was really the point of this. So my first, maybe my only, but we'll figure we'll get this out there and see what happens. Anyway, thank you. I'll sign off now.